Hello everybody, my name is Steph Harris. I am the Head of New Business and Social Value at Apex Contractors, and I'm delighted to welcome you to this virtual site tour for the Leas Lift project. As you can see, we're really in the throes of the restoration now, and we will be taking you on a bit of a tour today to show you everything that is happening here on the project. Apex are a principal contractor, which means that we manage the restoration of the project, and then we employ subcontractors to come and do the work for us. So as you can see, we're inside the lower station now, and this space has recently been opened up. So some walls have been removed and the space has been fully opened from what you might remember it being, where you had a little cafe at this end originally, and the space has been opened. We're starting to do some work on the wood panelling in here, and where possible, the design has been created to ensure that we retain as many original features as possible, whether that be the wood panelling and the lighting or the work around the ceilings. Welcome into the other side of the lower station. Here, as you can see, we're continuing the restoration works internally, and similarly to the other side, we're working to restore all the panelling, and we're going to be redecorating and restoring this to the heritage space that you love, but that is suitable for modern times, as in, this will be a rotating exhibition space, as well as being the waiting rooms for you to access the new lifts. We have done a lot of work here in terms of restoring the brickwork externally, so that when you arrive, it looks like it was built still originally back in the late 1800s. And a lot of work has been done with that, with the heritage consultant, to prepare samples of the brickwork and to making sure that the mortar is the correct type. We've done a lot of work with paintwork samples for the panelling, choosing the right colour and the right Pantone so that it matches into what it would have been previously. And then lastly, you would have seen already, if you've walked past the site or come past the site, that a lot of work's been done to clean the roof, and some roof repairs have also been done recently. So behind me is the Trackway, which if you've visited the lift before and ridden the lift, you will know that this is the original access route to the carts. A lot of work has been done in preparation for restoring the cartway and the trackway. You would have seen a few months ago, we lifted out the old carts, and that made a good news story for the public to come and see. And we have a specialist consultant here, Rapid Consulting, who have taken on the engineering of crafting the new trackway, installing new sleepers and new rails, and then the new carts will come back down once they've been restored from Lincoln and will be reattached to the rails. We're really excited about this. A lot of work went in to clear the trackways initially, and then on the second trackway we've also completed the vegetation clearing. We're doing some repairs in there to make sure that it's stable, and then potentially there'll be some PV panels installed later on during the project. Welcome into the pump room. Obviously, this is the heart of the Leas Lift and the core of what makes the lift work. Now, unfortunately, as you can see, you can't really see it. It's all covered up here, but that's because obviously we're making sure that during the restoration works, we're taking the right precautions to ensure that it's protected. And later on during the project, this will obviously be uncovered, and then we will do some work to ensure that the pump space and the pump itself is ready to move you all up and down the lift for the next 100 years. Behind me is the lower station water tank, which we've uncovered to ensure that it is capable of helping to move the lift for the next century. What we're doing here is we've uncovered it. However, there's some survey work to do on the steels, which means that we can check whether the steelwork is okay. Because if you can imagine, we've had cars and all sorts driving over this for the last 100 and so years, and we have to ensure that that can continue to be the case. So hopefully you'll get a close-up shot of that in a minute, and you can see how deep it is and the work that we're doing to look after it going forward. Welcome to this area of the project, which is where the new cafe is going to be located. So this is a new build extension that's being constructed using a glulam frame, which is basically a type of wooden frame solution. That will then allow us to connect into the existing building, and it's been purposely designed by the architects to mirror the existing station. Now, as you can imagine, this has taken a lot of work to actually construct, and what you'll see behind me is that we have had to excavate the cliffside to create the space for the new cafe. In order to do that, we've then had to kind of create a solution to retain the cliffside, and that has come in the form of a saw nailing solution. You might have seen a reference to the saw nailing solution on the artwork on the upper station. And basically what the saw nailing does is that we drive big nails into the soil. That is then kind of torqued and tightened, and a mesh is placed over all of the nails upon completion, which helps act as a barrier to stop the sliding of the soil in the future. Those nails drive and create a compaction around the mesh and everything as well. Once work has been completed here on the saw nailing and we've completed the foundation work pouring the slab, we will also be looking to introduce new trees to the cliffside, which over time as they grow and mature will also help retain this cliff face through their roots into the ground. Once we are also completed with the cafe, there will be some external works here and some steps and accessibility into this area. So if you are requiring a simpler access into the station, which we didn't have previously, you will be able to do that from this new extension of the cafe. Welcome to the upper station, and as you can see there is also a lot of work going on here. Initially what we've done is we've uncovered the water tanks, which are your right, my left, and these are the tanks that were sitting under the promenade that you would have walked along if you were a Folkestone resident or if you've been visiting in the past. These have now been surveyed and determined that they are not suitable for use as they are. So what we're doing is, in order to keep them in use going forward, is we will be installing a smaller tank within the existing tank. They will connect to the existing pipework, and that will allow the lift to operate. Over to my right hand side is the sheave wheel, which is on the old Trackway. I believe this is going to be covered but left open for you to see, so when you visit you can see the old sheave wheel. We are currently having a new sheave wheel for the working Trackway manufactured, and that will come to site and be installed ready for when the lift carts return. This area up here will also be a fantastic plaza style area where when you arrive and you want to travel from the upper to the lower, there'll be an accessibility ramp and route down to the lifts. There'll be a ticketing area and just a nice area for you to sit and enjoy while you wait for your lift ride. I hope you've enjoyed seeing a little bit behind the scenes of what we're doing here at the Leas Lift. Obviously work continues in earnest, and I will be delighted to welcome you, and I know the Leas Lift team will as well, when the lift opens for operation around spring, summer next year. Now, don't forget, we're always sharing updates on what we do on the project on our Apex Contractors socials, but also the Leas Lift team socials, and they have a newsletter that you can sign up to if you want to receive regular information on the project. So I can't wait to welcome you here next year, and get in touch if you've got any questions.